The Kentucky Oaks Trail heads north to Turfway Park, where the Cincinnati Trophy Stakes help support the Battaglia card on Friday night. And I'm joined by Scott Shapiro. He and I have been handicapping Turfway all winter. And Scott, we get a Oaks points race, also a prep for the Bourbonette Oaks, and typical for Turfway, a full competitive field.
Sure is a tricky 6.5 furlong distance and plenty of ways to go in here, Ed. Thought there were a lot of horses that have similar running styles that either want to be up on the lead or right off the early pace. We've seen the track play pretty fair before the weather break, of course, but generally speaking, if there's a contentious early pace, it's hard to go on with it.
Absolutely. And I did land on a horse who I expect to be favored. Don't have the morning line yet. Obviously, don't know how the actual wagering is going to go, but just read it. As you know, I'm not a big replay watcher, but I did see the comment whole close 3/16. I had to go back and watch, and she definitely looked like she was capable of winning that career debut, and then blew the doors off him at a short price in her second career start. Keeps at the sprint distance, which I thought was interesting. I'll have no issue with that pedigree going longer. I definitely have no issue with it on the synthetic. My biggest question mark is the price we're going to get on Just Read It, but I thought she was the filly to beat.
Yeah, very visually impressive effort, the January 31st effort when getting Lasix for the first time as a 3-year-old that day. Just wondering what she beat in there. You know, she did it well, so it's kind of hard to rip a horse that wins by 6.25. But if you look at the second and fourth place finishers, underwhelming careers thus far. The third place finisher was a first-time starter, I believe, for Christophe Clement. So that's kind of a wild card. But just a little concerned that the price is going to be lower than I'd be willing to accept. And also that inside draw. This one had an outside in the clear type trip last time. Now in a full field, this one I think could get caught in a little bit of a tricky spot.
It will definitely need Manny Esquivel to work out the right trip, which did not happen on debut when she got beat. Plenty of alternatives, though. Where are you looking?
Man, I struggled to come up with a top pick in here. Again, price dependent, but I have been impressed from what I've seen from number 5 Paradise Song for Michael Trombetta. Now, obviously, the synthetic surface is a wild card coming in 3 races over the dirt, just like your horse. Just Read It, but does have a couple of works at Fair Hill before the race. Has been out of training like many of these horses, but just a fast horse that's shown a lot of grit since that first effort where she spit it. But I could go several ways in here. I'm not overly confident in Paradise Song because drawing in between speeds is less than an ideal. Are you in a single position with Just Read It, or?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I'm on the likely favorite in the Battaglia as well, and that race is the start of the pick 4, which includes this race. So might need to zig and zag and not want both of them to win. I thought Igloo was spectacular on debut. My issue with her is it brings up what you brought up in the Battaglia video. Check that out on the Twin Spires feed as well. No work since February 5th, and that's because the track's been closed for a bit. Hard to know how fit she is, and this is a tall task. It's a big field with stakes met fillies. So Igloo, I might need to see one, but she definitely is worth watching off that maiden score.
Yeah, that was impressive. It's been very difficult to win at Turfway Park first time out. It's always difficult to win first time out from a rail draw going one turn. And she just ran from start to finish and buried a field for Jonathan Thomas, who's had a very, very good meet with somewhat limited starters at Turfway Park. A couple horses that I also considered as top pick. I thought Dirty Dangle for Mark Casse could get a perfect stalking trip. Was very unimpressive in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, but this is a class drop, and that outside draw could work wonders. And yeah, I mean, Pledge is another horse for Mark Casse, first time for his barn. Did have a nice win on January 2nd against much, much less, but another horse that could get an advantageous trip from off the pace.
Yeah, I thought Pledge was the third alternative I would have mentioned. Actually joins the Casse barn, so I'm guessing maybe a private sale, and has been training not in South Florida with the Casse runners. They were able to get this one out of Turfway and get some works more recently than Igloo, so that makes her interesting. I am going to stick with Just Read It on top, though. Hopefully the price won't be suppressed too much with the big field, and assuming you get the price you want, who are you on?
Paradise Song, who I would need to get a price because of the probable trip, but just visually, the last two efforts, 85 and 81 Brisnet speed rating, have impressed me, and I think comes in good form for Michael Trombetta. And real quick on Pledge, it looks like this one was purchased at the January 2021 OBS sale for $100,000. So you nailed it, not privately, but definitely was a change in hands.
All right, so we'll see what happens with the new owner there, and we'll certainly see what happens with the Trophy Stakes, 65,000 on the line, as well as Longines Kentucky Oaks points. Good luck.